Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make a video in Eudreation. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to push on this little plus sign up here on the top left. And when I get here, down here at the bottom, it tells me this is slide 1 of 1. Every time I push the arrow to the right, it's going to add a slide. So when I'm ready to add it, I'll just push the arrow. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a picture to this slide. If I wanted it to be writing like all you need to know about poetry or something, I could write that on here first. I'm going to push this little plus button right here. I'm going to add a picture. I'm going to select from my recents because that's where I'm selecting from. And this is where I'm going to add my anchor chart. So as long as this button right here is pushed, I can move this picture around. Once I switch it over to this is my pencil button, so I can choose my colors. From here, I can write on this. Anything that I want to have written on it before I start recording, I write obviously before I start recording. Once you start recording, it only records you writing. It will record your writing as you're doing it. So if I want to add another slide, I just push this right arrow and now it says 2 of 2. So here I can add my next slide. So I'm going to add this poem Bed for me to be able to talk about rhythm and rhyme. So when I'm ready to record, I'm just going to go back to the beginning and I'm going to push the record button. So it's recording me right now, so I might be talking about rhythm and rhyme, and I'm going to select that I want to write something. So I'm going to select my pencil, I'm going to keep it on blue, and I'm just going to circle like I'm talking about rhythm and rhyme because I want to draw their attention to it. Then I can switch to the next slide, and maybe here I'm going to read the poem. I'm going to tap my table to help them understand the rhythm. I'm going to talk about rhyme. I'm going to circle these rhyming words as I go and model how these words rhyme because these have the A sign and these have the ed and so on. If I had another slide here, you can add slides as you're going. So if I wanted to write, I could be writing, go on to the next slide and write again. I'm going to pause my recording because I'm going to stop, but I just want to show you one more thing before I forget. Up here in the top right where there's this like 2 squares and a plus, so if I click on that, it'll tell me duplicate page and ink or duplicate page. So there might be some writing that I want to have done already. This is what I did on the coin videos. There was writing that I wanted to have done already and it wouldn't duplicate it. So I didn't want to have to write it, but I wanted it to look like I was just adding like almost like a PowerPoint kind of thing. So now I just added a new slide here and it duplicated the page and what I had written on it. So when I go back here, you can see this is page 2 and 3 now. So let's say I wanted to go back and have some writing already on there, then I could do that as I'm going. And so it adds slides as we're going. Okay, so then if I wanted to trim any of it, I just go to the play and I come back down here and this is where I can move things. So let's say after I did that, I realized, ooh, I really didn't want any more than that. So I could edit and then click trim and it's gonna delete the rest of it. So I'm just gonna click that and now it just shows me just this part of my video. When I'm done, ooh, I don't wanna trim that. Okay, when I'm done, I'm gonna click this little exit button and you can select save finished video or save draft or discard. So I'm gonna go ahead and save draft because I don't wanna save that video, I wanna come back and fix it. So I'm going to save the draft and when you do that, it's gonna look like this. This little screen is gonna come up. You can change the name, change the way you want it published, if you want it private or public, change your subject area, subject and grade, and then save it. To share it, you're gonna click on it and click the little arrow in the top right. You can select mail and then decide who you want to send it to. So that is how you do this. If you have any questions, let me know.